Hello, and welcome to the Low Key Loki podcast about the Disney Plus series Loki, starring Tom Hiddleston. And today, on June 9th, 2021, premiered the first episode of this show. Now, this series has been a long time coming. There were many delays, as with Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision, due to the pandemic. But here we are, it's finally with us, and here we have the Tom Hiddleston, the movie star of the MCU. And
to stave off my ascent to God King.
And also the Godzillaverse. Can't forget that. This is the first of what I think is going to be, let's see, at least another 7 episodes of this. This is an hour-long show with all the credits. So you only really get about 45 minutes of content and then a bunch of very nicely done credits. There was no post-credit scene, no extra Easter eggs there. And it's rated TV 14. I gotta tell you, I was not particularly looking forward to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a non-cinematic format. That is to say, my television/computer screen. It really didn't rustle my jimmies. But Loki, because it had more of Tom Hiddleston, did get me excited. And I'm happy that this show is finally here. I loved WandaVision. I loved Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought they were great shows. Caught them first thing I could. But hoping to like this one even better. Now, as we all remember, back in Avengers Endgame, the 4th Avengers movie, there is a time-traveling plot that eats up basically all of the second act. Good for them. And in that episode, there was, of course, a hiccup in the heist where they could not steal the Tesseract as it was being taken back to Asgard with Thor and Loki in the conclusion of the first Avengers movie. So the opening of this show rewinds back to that scene, and we see a second Loki who goes on their own separate timeline. And gets himself in trouble with the time police. Now, if you watch your Rick and Morty, you know that messing with time is not a good thing. The giant Langoliers, who were voiced by Kay and Peele, whatever, going to come and curb stomp you. But in the MCU, this is done a little bit differently, but it's the same basic concept. Everyone goes back in time to try to, I guess, enrich themselves at the expense of the stability of the flow of time. Gets instantly captured by a SWAT team in orange and black, and they are tried for whatever it is they did, even if they are completely passive actors in it, and then they are erased. No, reset is the word. They have 2 euphemisms, pruned and reset. The idea is that, if you're an extra branch of a timeline, like a branch on a tree, you cut that limb off. You're pruning the tree. In the same way you prune the timeline. It's a nice way of saying that you're just killing everyone. The I'm getting a lot of the Umbrella Academy vibes. Super Umbrella-licious. And I really liked the first season of Umbrella Academy, but the second season, it was so much more of the same, and it just wasn't giving me the answers or content or character development that I wanted to, and I gave up on season 2 a few episodes in. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit nervous about this show, but I love that Tom Hiddleston, and he is kicking it. As we all know, Loki has gone through a bit of a character arc. He's kind of come to the lighter side over a couple more Avengers movies. So he kind of died heroically with Heimdall at the beginning of Avengers Infinity War. So yeah, this first episode, the introduction, is it does 3 main things, and let's go over them quickly. First of all, it catches the character up. That is the character of Loki. It catches him up to what happened. So no, he does go through his own file, and he sees his parents die and himself die in the future Avengers movies. It also catches the audience down, which is, it's weird that they literally have to do the opposite of catch you up. They have to catch you down, because you have to remember that this Loki is back from his only second appearance. Now, he was the villain in Thor, and he was the villain in the first Avengers movie. And that's the Loki that we're talking to right now, not the one who had all that, pathos and development. And all of those relationships that he built are now gone. So you kind of have to dial back the audience's expectations of what this character is going to do. He's back to be a mischievous scamp, as Owen Wilson would put it. And let me tell you right now, I watched this entire episode, and I generally thought that the character of Officer Mobius was played by Luke Wilson. I don't know why I thought that. Perhaps because he never said whoa. But yeah, Tom Hiddleston is playing off of Owen Wilson, star of Pixar's Cars movies. And it's setting up them to be, and in the heat of the night, buddy cop trying to take down a supervillain. What did your brother do? You want the brother to get the green computer?
Mine.
You want the pink one to be yours? Okay, we can do that. Okay, you put this on Mommy's nightstand so she knows to get you your birthday presents, okay? This is going to be so cool. All right. Where was I? So yes, in this episode, Glorious Purpose, it is a takeoff of that speech he made in the Avengers. So yeah, deals with his megalomania. So yeah, the third thing that this show does is it does something called a power creep. This is more of an anime term, but there comes a point when, in order for your powers to develop in an action sense, they need to keep getting more powerful because, on Monday, they face a powerful opponent. On Tuesday, they have to face an opponent that was, in fact, more powerful than the opponent they faced on Monday. Otherwise, the audience will be disappointed, etc., etc. So at some point, they kind of reach a plateau where it's like, how much more stuff can you make up? How much more powerful can everybody get? It's like, and that this is important because remember, we're dealing with the 2012 Loki, who still thinks that having one Infinity Stone makes you the bee's knees. Whereas we all here living in 2021, we've taken down a baddie who had six. Was it six Infinity Stones, I think. Okay, yeah, there are 6 Infinity Stones in the MCU, as well as the Capcom game, Marvel Superheroes. They actually have this really funny scene where it's like a lost and found / evidence locker, where all these objects that wayward time travelers got confiscated as they were being arrested, and it's just filled with Infinity Stones. And for the first time, Loki is humbled. He's like, "Where'd you get all these Infinity Stones?" He's like, we got so many of these. We use them as paperweights." oh my God. I was laughing so hard. If there was a better way to make, to make the case that we're dealing with things bigger than Infinity Stones, and things are going to be greater and more important. These Eternals or Time Lords or whatever we're going up against is going to be to the next level. That was a way to do it. So yeah, we got the catch up, the catch down, we got the power creep, and of course, a big exposition dump. We're dealing with time police. What these time police do is every time somebody strays out of the time scheme, which necessitates time travel, but not all time travel. For example, what the Avengers did with their time machine, that was cool. That was, despite the fact that they specifically noted that they would be creating separate timelines by doing it. And creating separate timelines is what this police officers corps is fighting against. For some reason, what the Avengers did, that was cool. But what Loki did was not cool. And believe me, he has words on that state of affairs. Trust me. But so yeah, there's a lot going on here. And at the very last frame, we revealed that the time criminal that they have to fight is Loki. So we have one version of Loki fighting another version of Loki with Owen Wilson as buddy cops. It should be interesting. So yeah, some interesting tidbits here. Love the art design. I love the it's like the 60s NASA. That was the end of time. So it's like everything here. They could have literally walked off the set of 2001: A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick, and everyone would be totally at home. And I'm down with that. Also, there's a little exhibition up informed of a very neat animated informational cartoon. Now, I don't know how deep you've all been on the YouTube rabbit hole, but some of these are on YouTube, but there are these cheaply animated 2D segments that like explain things to you about, I don't know, communism or whatever. And they do one to explain how the TVA, the Time Variance Association, works. And it's a nice little guest appearance by Tara Strong, who is my favorite voice actor. She has been a lead in My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, in The Fairly Odd Parents. She has done Harley Quinn in video games. She has done everything. So, and of course, like Owen Wilson, I didn't recognize her at first either because she was put on a really thick accent. So that just shows you how talented this person is. Whew. Okay. So a couple of things. Other people have noticed this, but if you freeze frame on Loki's arrest file, under sex, it says fluid. That's a reference to the fact that I think in the mythology and in the comics, Loki has been changed into a woman for an extended period of time, and then also changed back. That seems like it's really important and political, but you also have to realize that in the mythology, Loki has also been changed into a horse for an extended period of time, and Thor has been turned into a frog for a time. So take that little Easter egg with a grain of salt. Also, it has his birthplace as Jotunheim. So yeah, he was born in the frost giant planet, as opposed to Asgard or Midgard. So yeah, these people know their stuff. Yeah, his origins were hidden when he was adopted by the king Odin. And Loki has a last name, apparently, Lafferson, because he's mischievous, you see. I mean, technically, his last name should be Odinson because he is a son of Odin. But on his file, if you frame it, they say his name is Loki Lafferson, but an alias is Loki Odinson. I think it should be the other way around. I don't know. I'm not the greatest Thor expert on the planet, so take that with what you will. Another Easter egg, if you freeze frame, there is a film strip. Yeah, like I said, the time travel, weird technology. So yeah, the cops do have iPhones, but they also use film strips and microfilm to store data. Time. So what they do is, if you freeze frame it, when Loki is reviewing the tape of his life, it doesn't say Loki on it. It says ETH-616. As this say, it's a tape of Earth 616. So you can go ahead and look that up if you will, but that's what that means. And so, yeah, I think this was a great start. I can't wait till next Wednesday. These other series, they would upload at midnight Pacific time on Friday morning. But this one is doing Wednesday. So let's see how that goes. I think give you something to look forward to in the middle of the week, you know? All right. So until next time, everyone have a very low-key day. Mm.